Certain daily habits may actually shrink brain regions linked to memory, focus, and emotional control. That's right. Your lifestyle could be aging your brain faster than time itself. In this video, we will discuss 10 daily habits that are gradually deteriorating your brain. We're not here to scare you, we're here to help you make smarter choices. You'll understand how each habit affects specific parts of your brain and what you may do about it. Always consult a healthcare professional before making changes to your routine. Now, let's get started. 1. Consuming excessive sugar. Excessive sugar might seem harmless in your daily routine, but it's one of the most damaging habits for your brain. When you regularly consume sugary foods and drinks, your brain is flooded with glucose, leading to sudden spikes in blood sugar levels. This forces your brain to work harder to regulate energy, but over time, it starts to resist insulin, a key hormone needed for energy balance and cognitive performance. As insulin resistance builds, your brain struggles to absorb glucose properly. This slows down your thinking, weakens memory, and affects decision-making. One of the first areas to suffer is the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for forming new memories. Chronic sugar intake inflames this region, making it harder for your brain to adapt and learn. A PubMed study of 1,200 older Malaysians found 32% had cognitive impairment and a median sugar intake of 8 teaspoons. More sugar was linked to lower cognitive scores, even after controlling for other factors. If that first one surprised you, hit that subscribe button. We've got even more eye-opening facts coming your way. 2. Lack of quality sleep. Most people think skipping sleep just makes you tired, but the damage runs much deeper inside your brain. When you don't get enough quality sleep, your brain misses its chance to flush out waste, especially toxic proteins like beta amyloid that build up during the day. These proteins are linked to Alzheimer's disease, and without deep sleep, your brain's cleaning system, the glymphatic system, can't do its job properly. That waste starts to clog neural pathways, slowly damaging memory and thinking skills. At the same time, sleep deprivation throws your emotional control off balance. The amygdala, which processes emotions, becomes overly reactive, while the prefrontal cortex, which keeps those emotions in check, becomes less active. That means poor sleep makes you more irritable, impulsive, and less able to focus. Over time, this imbalance affects how you process stress, make decisions, and remember things. It's not just rest you're missing, it's your brain's nightly tune-up being skipped over and over again. Sleep controls mood, metabolism, and mental fatigue. PubMed suggests 7 hours of sleep per day for cognitive and behavioral function. That's just the second reason to think twice about your daily habit. What other habits might be on the list next? Share your thoughts in the comments. We're listening. 3. Multitasking continuously. Multitasking might feel like you're getting more done, but it's actually training your brain to work less efficiently. Every time you switch between tasks, like checking your phone while working or flipping between tabs, your brain has to pause, reorient, and refocus. This constant shifting reduces the activity in your prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for decision-making and concentration. Over time, this habit weakens your brain's ability to filter distractions, making it harder to stay focused even when you try. At the same time, continuous multitasking puts stress on the anterior cingulate cortex, which helps manage attention and detect mistakes. When overloaded, this part of the brain struggles to keep up, leading to more errors and mental fatigue. The brain isn't designed to juggle multiple streams of information all day, every day. This habit doesn't just scatter your thoughts, it physically reshapes neural patterns in ways that reduce attention span, lower productivity, and wear down cognitive control over time. According to Annals of Medicine and Surgery, Prolonged multitasking decreases working memory capacity and executive function, which are needed for planning, problem-solving, and sustained focus. 4. Sedentary lifestyle. Spending most of your day sitting might feel normal, but it's one of the quickest threats to your brain's long-term health. When your body stays inactive for too long, blood flow to the brain slows down. This means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach the areas that control memory and decision-making. Over time, this reduced circulation may shrink the hippocampus, which plays a key role in forming and storing memories. A sedentary lifestyle also lowers the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, a protein your brain needs to grow new cells and build strong neural connections. Without enough BDNF, your brain becomes less adaptable, which affects your ability to learn, focus, and manage stress. What feels like just a lazy day here and there may add up fast, weakening brain function and increasing the risk of cognitive decline. Your brain needs movement just as much as your muscles do, and sitting still too often robs it of that fuel. The World Health Organization recommends 150 minutes of moderate-intensity aerobic activity or 75 minutes of vigorous activity per week for brain health. 5. Excessive screen time. Staring at screens for hours might feel harmless, but it's quietly reshaping how your brain functions. One major issue is blue light exposure, especially before bed. Blue light from phones, tablets, and TVs interferes with melatonin production. According to PubMed, this may cause insomnia, poor sleep quality, and short sleep duration. When sleep quality drops, your brain misses out on critical repair time, leading to memory problems, poor concentration, and slower emotional processing. Another hidden effect is on your brain's reward system. Constant scrolling and notifications overstimulate dopamine pathways, making your brain crave short-term hits of pleasure. Over time, this reduces your attention span and weakens impulse control. You become wired to seek quick rewards and lose interest in slower, more meaningful tasks. It's not just about screen addiction, it's about how your brain rewires itself around instant gratification. If this becomes a daily habit, it doesn't just impact focus, it may seriously harm long-term mental clarity and emotional resilience, especially in younger brains still developing. 6. Chronic stress. Feeling stressed now and then is normal, but when it becomes a daily pattern, it starts to change your brain in ways you can't see. Chronic stress floods your system with cortisol, a hormone that keeps your body on high alert. Over time, high cortisol levels damage the hippocampus, the area responsible for memory and learning, making it harder to think clearly or retain new information. It even shrinks this part of the brain, which may speed up cognitive decline. At the same time, stress overactivates the amygdala, which controls fear and emotions. This makes you more receive, anxious, and less able to manage emotional challenges. It also weakens connections between the amygdala and prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that helps you stay calm and make smart decisions. That's why constant stress doesn't just affect your mood, it chips away at your brain's wiring. If left unchecked, it sets the stage for long-term damage to memory, focus, and emotional balance. The journal Chronic Stress states that stress triggers the amygdala, which controls emotions and reacts differently to short-term and long-term stress. Short-term stress strengthens connections and enhances emotional responses, while long-term stress causes structural changes that may cause anxiety and PTSD-like behaviors. 7. Skipping breakfast regularly. Skipping breakfast might seem like a harmless way to save time or cut calories, but it may quietly drain your brain's ability to perform at its best. When you go without food in the morning, your brain doesn't get the glucose it needs to power up. This sudden dip in energy may cause mental fatigue, slower thinking, and weaker memory, especially during the hours when your brain needs to be most alert. The prefrontal cortex, which handles focus and decision-making, struggles to function efficiently without proper fuel. Blood sugar balance is another issue with this habit. Skipping breakfast may lead to bigger spikes and crashes later in the day, throwing off your brain's energy rhythm. These fluctuations put stress on your nervous system, increasing irritability, reducing emotional control, and impairing short-term memory. Over time, this pattern adds unnecessary pressure on your brain's regulation systems, leaving you more distracted and less resilient during daily mental tasks. In a PubMed study of 29 school children, glucose drinks and skipping breakfast decreased attention and memory. Cereal for breakfast reduced these declines. 8. High intake of processed foods. Grabbing packaged snacks or fast food might feel convenient, but a diet high in processed foods may slowly damage your brain from the inside out. These foods are loaded with trans fats and refined sugars that trigger chronic inflammation, especially in areas linked to memory and learning. Over time, this inflammation disrupts neural communication, weakens cognitive flexibility, and increases the risk of developing neurodegenerative conditions. Also concerning is how processed foods affect your gut. A healthy gut microbiome helps produce brain-supporting chemicals like serotonin, but artificial additives and low fiber in processed meals damage that balance. This gut-brain disruption impacts mood regulation, focus, and even your ability to handle stress. When the gut is out of sync, the brain feels it, often through brain fog, fatigue, or poor concentration. So while processed foods may satisfy cravings in the moment, their long-term impact quietly erodes the systems your brain depends on to stay sharp, stable, and emotionally balanced. A 4-year PubMed study of 6,200 older US women found that saturated fat intake worsened cognitive and verbal memory, while MUFA intake improved it. 9. Smoking or vaping. Lighting up a cigarette or hitting a vape might give a quick buzz, but it quietly starts damaging your brain in ways most people don't realize. Nicotine narrows blood vessels, reducing the flow of oxygen-rich blood to your brain. With less oxygen, brain cells struggle to function and begin to break down over time. This poor circulation also harms white matter, the part that helps different areas of your brain communicate efficiently, leading to slower thinking and poor coordination. On top of that, vaping liquids and cigarette smoke carry harmful chemicals like formaldehyde and acetaldehyde, which trigger oxidative stress in brain tissue. This stress damages neurons, weakens memory, and increases the risk of anxiety and cognitive decline. For young users, it's even worse. Developing brains are more vulnerable to addiction and long-term changes in brain chemistry. While the habit may feel like a stress relief, it's actually doing the opposite, rewiring your brain in ways that are hard to undo once the damage is done. A PubMed study of 700 participants found that cigarette smoking reduces brain gray matter volume, which is linked to dementia. 10. Neglecting mental stimulation. Letting your brain coast through the day without any real challenge might feel relaxing, but over time it may quietly cause your brain to lose its edge. When you don't engage in mentally stimulating activities like reading, learning, or problem solving, your brain begins to lose connections between neurons. These connections, called synapses, are essential for memory, focus, and critical thinking. Without regular use, your brain starts to prune them away, making it harder to think clearly or adapt to new information. Moreover, a silent consequence is the decline in gray matter volume, especially in language, reasoning, and planning regions. Gray matter is what helps your brain process information efficiently. When it shrinks from underuse, you might notice slower thinking, reduced creativity, or poor decision-making. Just like muscles weaken without exercise, your brain also loses strength without stimulation. What feels like a habit of mental rest may actually speed up aging and leave you more vulnerable to long-term cognitive decline. In a PubMed study of 300 remitted major depressive patients, older age and more depressive episodes were linked to reduced left superior frontal gyrus activity. Moving on, let's discuss 5 powerful foods that protect and fuel your brain. Your brain needs more than rest to stay sharp. It needs the right fuel. While daily habits may wear it down, certain foods may actively protect and strengthen your brain. The choices you make at the table may improve memory, enhance focus, and even guard against long-term decline. Here we'll show you 5 brain-boosting foods that are backed by science and easy to include in your routine. 1. Fatty fish. Fatty fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA, which makes up a large portion of brain cell membranes. DHA supports the fluidity of brain cells, improving how they communicate. Regular intake helps reduce brain inflammation and may slow age-related cognitive decline. These healthy fats also play a role in building neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which regulate mood and attention. People who eat fish weekly have more gray matter in areas that control emotion and memory. Omega-3s also improve blood flow to the brain, which means more oxygen and nutrients reach areas that handle learning and decision-making. In children and teens, it's been linked to better academic performance and focus. For adults, it supports mental sharpness and may lower the risk of Alzheimer's. It's a simple habit with long-lasting benefits. 2. Blueberries. Blueberries pack a powerful mix of antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, that protect the brain from oxidative stress and inflammation. These compounds help keep neurons healthy and have been shown to boost communication between brain cells. Blueberries also increase brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that supports the growth of new neurons and strengthens existing ones. Regularly eating blueberries may improve memory, especially short-term recall and delayed memory in older adults. They also help preserve the hippocampus, the brain's memory center, as we age. Because they combat free radicals, blueberries protect your brain from the cellular damage that contributes to cognitive decline. Their natural sugar is absorbed slowly, providing stable energy without the crash, which helps maintain focus throughout the day. Whether added to breakfast or blended into a smoothie, blueberries are a smart, tasty way to keep your brain energized and protected. 3. Pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds may be small, but they're packed with nutrients that play a critical role in brain health. They're a rich source of magnesium, iron, zinc, and copper, each of which supports key neurological functions. Magnesium helps regulate nerve signals and keeps overexcitation in check, supporting a calm, focused mind. Zinc is essential for nerve signaling, and deficiencies have been linked to mood disorders and impaired memory. Copper aids in neurotransmitter production, helping brain cells communicate efficiently. Iron ensures oxygen is properly delivered to the brain. When iron is low, cognitive function and mental energy often decline. These tiny seeds are also rich in antioxidants that shield the brain from free radical damage, a key driver of aging and inflammation. Adding just a handful to your daily diet, sprinkled on salads or eaten as a snack, may strengthen brain cell resilience and support sharper thinking across all ages. 4. Broccoli. Broccoli isn't just a source of fiber. It's a brain-boosting powerhouse loaded with compounds like sulforaphane and vitamin K. Sulforaphane, a potent antioxidant found in cruciferous vegetables, supports detoxification and reduces oxidative stress in brain cells. This helps protect against inflammation, which is linked to neurodegenerative conditions. Vitamin K plays a critical role in forming sphingolipids, a type of fat that surrounds brain cells and helps with structural integrity and signaling. Higher vitamin K intake is associated with better episodic memory, particularly in older adults. Broccoli also contains choline, which aids in neurotransmitter production, helping with mood regulation and memory processing. Its nutrient density makes it especially valuable for long-term brain protection, supporting both cognitive performance and resilience to age-related decline. Steamed, roasted, or blended into soups, broccoli is an easy addition that works quietly to keep your brain sharp and steady. 5. Walnuts. Walnuts are the only nuts significantly high in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 that supports brain structure and function. ALA helps lower inflammation and improves blood vessel function, increasing oxygen flow to the brain. Walnuts also contain polyphenols, vitamin E, and other antioxidants that neutralize oxidative damage, which contributes to aging and memory loss. Walnut consumption improves cognitive scores, better memory, and even a lower risk of depression. What makes walnuts especially unique is their ability to support both brain and cardiovascular health simultaneously, since what's good for your heart is usually great for your brain. They also support neurogenesis, the formation of new neurons, which is critical for learning and recovery from stress. Just a small daily serving, about a handful, may make a measurable difference in how well your brain ages and performs, especially when paired with other healthy lifestyle habits. Your brain thrives when you give it balance, stimulation, and the right kind of care. The truth is, these everyday habits might not seem harmful at first, but over time, they may quietly wear down your focus, memory, and emotional strength. Once we recognize these patterns, we may take back control. By being more mindful of how we treat our brain and making a few simple, consistent changes, you may protect your brain's health and keep it sharp, strong, and resilient for years to come. In this amazing video, we learned about all the daily habits that are destroying your brain. But did you know that there are many ways to protect your health? Want to find out more? Watch what eating one cucumber every day does to your body. Or watch avoid green tea if you have these 5 health issues. Watch one, or even better, watch both. What other daily habits are not good for our brain? Let us know in the comments below.